Well, there is less than an hour now for Athens to make a €1.6 billion payment to the International Monetary Fund and avoid default. Our Europe correspondent Peter Oliver joins us now. You can see him there. Pete, good to see you. So the clock is ticking then. What's the very latest?
Well, Greece just aren't going to make that payment to the International Monetary Fund. We heard from Gerald Celente, the head of the Eurogroup, that's made up of the finance ministers of all the different Eurozone countries. He pretty much summed up the state of affairs at the moment. Things will most likely get worse before they get any better. Greece has put forward a proposal for a third bailout of around 30 billion euros to be paid to them over the next 2 years. That would allow them to be able to deal with the current debts that they have. It doesn't say anything about any further debts that they may rack up along that time. To add a little insult to injury, in the last 10 minutes or so, the ratings agency Fitch has downgraded Greece's credit from an already pretty poor CCC to the even worse CC rating. It says that it looks incredibly likely for a full-on default, and also that it may find it very difficult to pay back some of its creditors. Notably, though, the creditors, it says it won't be. It doesn't think it will have more trouble to pay back. Will be the likes of the will be non-private creditors like the IMF or the ECB. Well, in terms of the state of play with the IMF, it doesn't look like Greece are going to be able to pay that back. We did hear from the Deputy Greek Prime Minister, who said that he was hoping to be able to delay that payment. We've heard no more on that, and we are now running really out of time by the minute. However, what has come out, though, is that even if Greece had adhered to and had taken on board the plans that were put to them a few days ago, that put to them last week, that led to them calling a referendum on those plans, that yes or no referendum will take place at the weekend. Well, IMF, International Monetary Fund documents even say that if they followed it to the letter, they just would still face an unsustainable level of debt by 2030. Now, these documents were put to German MPs. They were then leaked to newspapers here, as well as to the Guardian newspaper in the United Kingdom. That was in case the German Parliament was asked to vote on whether an extension of the bailout could happen. That was quashed very quickly by Angela Merkel. She said no vote from the German side anyway on a bailout, on a third bailout or an extension until that referendum had taken place. We're waiting to see what will come out from the IMF. We're expecting to hear from them very shortly, but it looks unlikely that they're going to pay it back. If they don't, it really puts them into uncharted waters and puts Greece into an unenviable group of 3 countries that have previously gone into arrears with the IMF. But right now, really, we are seeing the ruling government in Greece taking flak from all sides. Speaking on the Syntagma Square in the Greek capital, the mayor of Athens was addressing a crowd of people that want to say yes to the new bailout plans. Yes to the bailout plans put forward, I beg your pardon, by the creditors. He left the stage, went straight to the press and said Alexis Tsipras must step down. And, well, we're also hearing from the likes of Gerald Celente, also the IMF's own document, saying that things don't look good. It looks like there's going to be some serious questions for Alexis Tsipras. We're now just waiting for what seems to be the inevitable of Greece missing that payment of 1.6 billion to the IMF. Of course, when we find out how that went, I'll bring you all the latest here.
Yeah, Pete, thank you very much. Peter Oliver reporting from Berlin. I'm sure we'll be speaking to you throughout the course of the evening as this story develops here on RT International.